Good morning and welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson, Brenton O'Brien here for round one of the Grand Prix 247.com iRacing Star Mazda Championship. Brenton, first round. We've had a couple of little shakedown races just to sort us out, but we're here, Montreal, round one. Should be a fun race.
Yeah, it should be. Gee, I've been looking forward to this. Some really great little cars these are, and the guys at Sim Races Asia, as usual, have done a fantastic job organising this with Fuji Satono, looking after this. So yeah, should be some good racing.
Having a little look at the track at the minute. Pretty difficult for us to, well, for me anyway, on the overlay to check what the weather conditions are like. So maybe you could just give us a little idea, is that because it's realistic weather or dynamic weather? Sorry, we should say.
Well, it's got constant weather. Partly cloudy, 26 degrees. The track temperature's up to 40, so it could be a little bit slippery out there. Wind's really not much to speak of at all. So what have we got? 35 lap race. So it should be fairly decent on the cars. Mandatory pit stop. Probably need two, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm thinking we will need two based on what they've done in previous rounds as well. Just give a big shout out to our sponsors, grandprix247.com. Go and check them out if you're interested in F1 news. Just absolutely full of it over there, just as the URL says. Just head on over there, check them out, and catch up on all the latest news.
Great to have sponsors on board, so yeah, thank you very much to those sponsors, and we'll do our best to continually plug the product as it needs to be and as it should be.
Fledgling season then, really, or series, should we say, sorry, Brenton. So just Fuji slowly starting to build this up. We've got a few people not turned up for this first round, but I think that's kind of to be expected on any iRacing league or series that we follow. A bit very similar to the Sim Races Asia GT series to start off with as well. So just those guys that have signed up obviously need to try and turn up, or tell Fuji that you can't make it, so that we can draft other people that are interested in the league. It just takes a little while, doesn't it, to get these series going, but a great concept behind it, and I think if Fuji keeps pushing hard, we could end up sort of similar sort of areas the SRA every week.
It's a concept that's going to work, using the liveries of the real life Formula Ones, just not just in the present ones, but also the past as well. But you're right, it's a concept that will take time to catch on. But it's a long weekend here in Australia, and I imagine quite a few of the Aussies, of which we know there's a few nominated, they've probably gone away for that weekend. So hoping that they'll be back for round two. Yeah,
just unfortunate bad timing there, I think, with some of the national holidays that are going on. So we get a great shot of Aaron Hamilton just going through that final chicane, avoiding the Wall of Champions in the Jaguar livery. Such a classic car.
Well, a favourite for the Aussies, that's for sure. Mark Webber. He's one of those ones where back in the day when Webber was really competitive, he used to put that car in places it didn't deserve to be. So, yeah, no doubt we'll talk more about those type of things as the race goes on. But just the concept of having these cars, and it would have been fantastic if all the cars made the effort to wear the skins. It looks like there's probably a couple that haven't. But again, that's the type of thing that they'll have to catch on.
Yeah, Aaron's lap just being invalidated there as he's grazing the wall through there. Should just about get another one in. He's sat 2 tenths behind Scott Newton at the moment, who's currently on pole position. So yeah, Scotty Newton from the Apex Racing Academy doing a great job out there. Is he out on track? He's not. He's in the McLaren though, so
no,
he's going to be pretty happy with that, I think.
Yeah, well, he should be. But he's driving so well at the moment, Scotty. He's really raised his game, and I think a big part of that is to do with people like yourselves and the Apex Racing Academy. You guys just bring a great product to the floor. There's no doubt. And obviously, you and your team, Cam Stark in particular, should be congratulated on the success of last week's Indianapolis 500 win, 8/1000ths of a second after being in third at the start of the last lap and getting the job done. So congratulations to you and your team.
Yeah, pretty stoked about that. Awesome performance there. So really got to grips with the IndyCar, and we come with a really good Indy setup in the end, and yeah, delighted. So Alex Hughes on the track at the moment. Steve Bocade, he's out there at the moment, just trying to improve his position. Currently sat in 5th. But yeah, for those drivers who don't know what the Apex Academy is, basically the our team, Apex Racing UK, we open our forum up to members who just sort of give us a little donation to help keep our team going, and in exchange for that, we basically will try and help you in any car that we're currently doing with setups, telemetry work, how to set the cars up, the best racing techniques, lines, you name it. We'll try and help you just as if you were one of our team members, and it's been quite successful so far. We've had a couple of pro drivers made out of it in the FW31, so yeah, delighted.
Yeah, and it's got a bit of momentum up, and yeah, for all those who are needing a bit of help out there in the iRacing world, I would highly recommend giving Alex a call through Facebook or even through these links here, and get in touch with him and see if he can get you on board. No doubt he'll do the right thing by you.
Us qualifying just finishing up. Nobody's out on track at the moment. Just a small 13-car grid, I think we've got. Brenton, can you just take us through the grid?
Yeah, I think we're down to 11 with Maximilian Scheider has had to withdraw. But yeah, pole position for our round 1 race here at Montreal. Scotty Newton, 137.21, followed by Aaron Hamilton, Evolution Racing Australia driver, driving in the Jaguar livery tonight, 37.371. So just a 1.5 tenths there. Joe Burkett. I think he was in the McLaren. No, was it the McLaren or the Mercedes? I'll have to look at that. The 37.5. Alex Marshall, 37.6, driving the old McLaren. Stephen Bocade, 38.4. Matei, 38.6. Andrew Stokes, 39 flat. Maximilian, we know, has withdrawn. Our host, Fuji Satono, in the old Damon Hill Williams, one you'd probably know. 40.5, Mod Sata 40.6, Pierre Emmanuel Obenishi, hope I got that right for you, in the Ferrari, 40.851, and Alex Pohl 41.0. Josh Anderson, who got in late, hasn't had that chance to put a time in. So small field, 12 cars, but should be an interesting race.
Yeah, like we said, I think this is exactly what we expected for the first round. Montreal, not a particularly easy track to set the car up, bumps and curbs everywhere, so it really does put the drivers to the challenge, and I think that might well have put a few people off on this first round, as well as the national holidays that are going on.
And actually, Joe Burkett is actually in the old Leighton's house.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what's that? Late 80s, early 90s, I think, with the Leighton House team. I think as their progression was, yeah, we'll talk about that later on. Revs are building.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go green, and there goes the lights. The first round of the Grand Prix 247.com Star Mazda Series is underway. It's a great start from Aaron Hamilton. Has a little look, but can't quite make the move around the outside of turn 1 on Scott Newton. Everybody else funnels through turn 1 and turn 2 quite successfully there, which is good to see. Few side-by-side battles going through into the turn 3 chicane. Always tricky here. We've seen a couple of accidents there, and we've got someone going off, and they're into the wall heavy.
Oh yeah, that's and had a bit of help there at the end as well. John Matteo is in, and who else is that? Is that I couldn't see the other one. There's certainly one of the Red Bull cars. Actually, Maximilian Schneider has come back, so I'm thinking that was Maximilian Schneider who's actually had an issue there with the Red Bull car. So
getting a little replay. It looks like John Anthony. He was who's in the BMW. Looking Mazda out there. Yeah, he's side by side with one of the. Wasn't even that actually. He was side by side with Maximilian, and then Maximilian just got over those curbs, and of course, yep, that sent him flying into the wall. Race pretty much over.
Yeah, well, they get three free toes tonight, so gives himself an opportunity to get back in there, and he showed reasonably good qualifying pace, so he's got a chance to get up there and certainly crack the top 10.
Good little battle for the lead though, top four very, very close to one another as they all avoid the wall of champions. So many have gone in there and they're sporting some liveries out there right now that have been in that wall a fair few times, so they better be careful.
Yeah, the McLaren's running, the old Marlboro Honda McLaren's running 1 and 3, the Jag in second, the Leighton House in fourth, and the current crop Mercedes. We've got a good battle behind that actually. What position's that for?
P7, Pierre and
Yeah,
Fuji
P7.
Sartano with Alex Pole just tucked up behind them, and yeah, who have you got there? I think that's one of the drivers. That's
Yes, Sata, Obanishi, and yeah, Sartono. And Alex Pole not far off as well. So again, it's great to see the old Leighton House car up there amongst it. Good choice of car having that Leighton House too. So
just a bit different, isn't it? You know.
I think Andre de Cesaris drove that with a reasonable amount of success. I don't think they ever won a race. Actually, very confident they did.
Pierre goes into the chicane a bit deep there, and he's going to come under a fair bit of pressure here from Fuji. Going to have a little look surely into the chicane, sticks his nose out, he's lay on the brakes. Is he going to get the move done? He's upside. Pierre sees the Rothman Williams come in and decides that he's probably best just to leave the gap at this early stage of the race, but now he's coming under pressure straight away from Alex Pole.
Yeah, they're lining up for it at the moment. Pierre, I don't know whether Pierre had a lot of lap times, a lot of time to do laps, so yeah, that's going to have an effect on his race. But
Pole side by side into the chicane. Oh, and there's a battle going off ahead as well. We're too wide, 2 by 2 through the chicane. Never easy. I think the camera needs to switch, but there we go. We're all through safely.
And in the meantime, we've lost our leader. Scotty Newton has obviously put it into the wall as well. Just having a look where that's happened. I think he's actually into the wall of champions area, into the last chicane. Oh no, he's blown an engine. Blown an engine into that last chicane.
Just gone back. We're going back to the where are we? We're at the hairpin, I believe. Yeah, we're at the hairpin. So under a little bit of pressure from Aaron at this point. He's tucked up on the inside, trying to defend the inside line. So yeah, I'm guessing he's just going to brake it really late, trying to use the engine braking as fast as possible. Oh, and then just kapoof, bang, gone.
Yep, up she goes, and it takes a bit to blow an engine on these Star Mazdas too. So whether he's gone down too many gears too quickly, or whether he's just over revved it and away she goes. But not sure how that's going to work for his toe, because he is very, very close to that pit entry.
Yeah, it should have been quite quick. I'm surprised he couldn't make it back to the pits. There's like a little sort of inlay that you can roll through.
Yeah,
you might have just had enough drive to have got it back, and then it'd have been an instantaneous repair. But perhaps thinking that he isn't able to get into the pit lane from there. But the top three continue their battle, separated by less than a second, and Aaron just trying to edge away a little bit from Alex Marshall in the other of the McLarens out there.
Pretty impressed with how Aaron's been going in these Star Mazdas. He does a lot of V8 supercar driving, so certainly doesn't do a lot of Star Mazdas. His teammate for the night, James Keane, who will be in the other Jaguar from here on in. He's one of the fellas who's away for this long weekend, so no doubt the Jaguar team will have strong representation. But in the meantime, we've got Alex Marshall, who's certainly hasn't let Aaron go on his way in the McLaren Honda, and Joe Burkett's still there in third place, but there's quite a significant gap back to fourth place already at Stephen Boucade in the this year's livery, or last year's livery, the Martini Williams, so they're 13.5 seconds behind.
Oh, we've lost Marshall as well. Marshall hits the wall hard. That car is crabbing all over the place. He should be able to get it back to the pits. Just a case of going into the chicane a little bit too hot. Let's take a little look at the replay back from on board and see if we can't see exactly what happened there. Just starting to lose Hamilton a bit, and I wonder if he perhaps just pushed it a little bit too hard through this chicane. We can see him braking in, catches the curb on the inside and the one on the outside, gets it loose, and then just hits the Well, I just can't catch it. Basically, it hits the inside.
Wait till he gets to the hairpin.
Chicane. All right, we'll stay with exactly what happens here. We're lap 4, and we're struggling with. Oh wow! And he's. Well, I've never seen.
Sorry, Alex, we shouldn't be laughing, but
I've never seen anything like it. He landed it. That was all that matters. Gets a 7 out of 10 for me for doing the flip.
and he's been able to push it all the way to the pit. So he's hit walls, he's crabbed all the way. He's put it on its roof, but it's still going, and he won't go a lap down. I wouldn't think.
No, he should just get an immediate repair and be back out. So he's still in with a little shout. Got Newton back out on track. He hasn't gone a lap down as well. I have to say, Brenton, this is where the series that you were covering the other day, we were talking about it off air just a moment ago, the Australian Grand Prix series. They did a great job actually with safety cars. When it spreads out like this so early on, sometimes the safety cars can bring it back together, and we have really close race throughout. But yeah, I think we could have done with one of those right here, right now, just to bunch this field back up again.
It's going to be a hard race for our leaders to, I'm not going to say to keep that motivation. The motivation was there, but to keep their concentration. Well, at the top two, 16 seconds. This is after 5 laps. Well, actually, no, on lap 5. They're already 16 laps ahead, so...
Got a battle further back. These are the 2 lap drivers that are recovering. That's Pierre and John. It looks like Pierre's just managed to sneak past the... his Ferrari there.
What's going to be interesting to see if Scotty Newton, how quickly he can work his way through the field. 9th at the moment. What are we doing? 1 minute and 4 seconds off the lead. I wouldn't expect it to be like that at the end of the race, but
he's got damage.
Oh no, he's got damage again. He's gone again. Yeah, he's got awful issues. So, not a great start for the 2 McLarens. It's great that they're both here, no doubt about that, Marshall and Newton. But at the moment, both cars have had a need of severe wheel alignment. But he gets another free tow. But yeah, this is going to have to get close to putting him a lap down for sure.
Yeah, 64 seconds back. You're right, he's got to come in and do that now, otherwise he's just going to have no chance of catching up any of these guys. You can see the leaders coming around there in the background. Yeah,
well, they're doing laps around the 1:38 mark, so it'll be touch and go. If he comes in and just sticks and goes with the free tow, well, he still might come out on the lead lap, which is incredible.
Yeah, we can hear him.
But
he has
a
gone
massive
in.
amount of work to do.
I can just hear him in the background. He has come in. He can hear him on the rev limiter going into the pits. So as long as he just selects tyres and fuel and everything else like that, he should be able to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I'm not sure the benefit of...
No, he's not going to make it. Here comes the leaders. He still hasn't reached his box yet. Such a slow pit lane here at Montreal, and we always we forget about that. It's a good 30-35 seconds that you lose here. One of the longest in the calendar, actually. Mainly because we use the NASCAR pit lane sort of speed limit points on the exit as well. So we have to wait so long before we can go green. Rather than just using the garages, and they hit the commitment and exit cone straight after that. Yeah, they just sat there at, well, I'm not sure what the speed limit is actually. Pretty slow.
72 k's an hour rings a bell, but it is pretty slow, yeah. And up at the front, Burkett and Hamilton have probably got the closest part of the races for the lead here, but for Joe Burkett right now, I can't see why you would feel you need to push hard and make any attempt to gain the lead. Yeah, I'd be just happy to sit behind, save a bit of fuel. It's a long race, AC. We've still got 28 laps to go.
Yep.
There's no need to be pushing on too hard for these two. There's a certain podium
I wouldn't as well. I mean, we know the Star Mazda, you get a fair bit of slipstream out of this car, and we can see that in effect now as he's closing back up. Let's just have a quick look, see if we can do a speed comparison between the two. Actually, Hamilton's showing tiny little bit faster in a straight line there, so perhaps Joe Burkett's got a little bit more downforce on that car. It's helping him through the corners. and he's able to use the car ahead just to try and equalise the speed, so that he's not losing too much ground. But yeah, it's going to be that's going to make it very difficult for him to overtake. It's going to have to be on pit stop strategy, I would think.
Yeah, it will be, but if he can go that extra lap, well, these guys, or these cars, sorry, they really do react well to the lighter fuel load. Probably the same self with the Williams, but these guys do. The times are very, very different with the lighter fuel load, and if you can stay out that extra lap or two, it does make a big difference. But just seems to be, he's got to try and stay in the draft of Hamilton here. And, Hamilton, on the other hand, can look at it this way, that he can push really hard for a couple laps and try and get out of that draft of Burkett, and Joe's going to have to do all the work himself.
Interesting, we're at Montreal today, of course. It's a big weekend for Montreal. The proper Grand Prix is coming here as well, so it could be good to see how that one turns out. I myself am at Montreal in a couple of hours' time for the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series as well, so don't forget to tune into that on iRacing Live. But yeah, a lot of races going on here.
Yeah, there is. It's a busy time, isn't it? And with week 13 coming up in the official iRacing series, it's normally a good chance for some to have a bit of a break. But the hosted races and the league races are just absolutely full on at the moment.
Hamilton way quicker in the first sector of this racetrack. You could see that he pulled out quite a reasonable gap to Joe Burkett there, but Joe just claws it all back in that second half of the racetrack, so definitely more confident in different areas of the track, which always spices up the racing as well. So we might well see an overtake from Burkett, maybe down and into the hairpin or something like that, if he gets a good run.
Yeah, the thing about this series I was surprised at is that it's an open setup, so I think it might be one of those ones that could have been better if it was a fixed setup and people didn't have to worry about setting their cars up, just jump in and race as hard as they can. But with the open setup, those who put the hours in during the week, that pays the benefits at the end of it. And there's going to be a few guys here who are really probably just using the baseline setup, and that's going to make a big difference to those who have worked out their own.
Yeah, huge. The difference in the Star Mazda is crazy. I remember actually doing a little bit of work with one of the Academy guys in the Star Mazda, and I hadn't done a lot of work in this car. I've sort of skipped this and went straight to the IndyCar when I was progressing up, and it can be very loose as Burkett's getting close, pulls out from the slipstream. They're side by side. Is he going to have enough momentum to get past? Got poor camera angle. We can't see what's going on. Yes, he does.
Yeah, no, he's got the job done.
Pretty much slam dunk. I think he got enough of a run, and Aaron decided not to fight it too much there. There's no point. These guys are 19 seconds ahead of the battle for third place. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think
they don't need
too much sleep over that one.
Yeah, they don't need to fight at this point, do they? There's a long, long way to go. I'm pretty sure Aaron can make his way back up to Joe and put him under pressure. They've been pretty much nip and tuck all race long.
Yeah, and Aaron's got some pretty good racecraft. I know with the team that he races in, he very deep thinker about races, and he's quick enough as well in the V8. So I wouldn't be surprised there if he actually might have backed out of it a little bit early and let Burkett have his shot at the front and save a bit of fuel himself. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I was saying, so back in when I was doing the testing with the car, it seemed like the car really, really loose on exit, and as Burkett gets a bit loose himself. And the key really is just to try and get comfortable with that in the car, and eventually we found a setup that just sort of dialed it in quite nicely, so it wasn't too aggressive, and we could absolutely push and push and push and push. And where we started off, sort of from the baseline stuff, so we were like 3 seconds a lap faster. So most cars, the setup doesn't make that great a deal of difference, but in the Star Mazda it is quite noticeable. So yeah, you can really tell that there are drivers out there that have just sort of took the baseline out and just gone with it, but it's quite dramatic here. Hamilton gets close, but not close enough to make a repass.
Yeah, I don't think he's too racy here, Aaron Hamilton, at the moment, and where you can hear him going into to turn 1-2 here, the center barrage, I think it is. Yeah, I don't think he's too raised yet. I think he's just his turn to do some fuel saving. Joe Burkett does seem to be almost at his maximum here, doesn't he? He's really using all of the track and then some.
Yeah, as Hamilton gets very close to the wall as well. So they're both giving it some. They're not, they're not taking it lightly. They're pushing quite hard, but they're way quicker than. I say they're way quicker than anybody else. That last lap, Josh Anderson stuck a 1:37.
Oh, under brakes! Hey, oh, they don't want to be doing this. Sorry.
Oh, we switched back.
Yeah, no, Aaron just, I'm not sure whether Joe was trying to let Aaron through and Aaron didn't want to accept that, or whether Aaron braked very deeply, sorry. But it actually came very close to hitting, and we don't want that, boys. We need you guys to stay out there and put on a good show for us.
Yeah, I was just saying, Josh as well, Anderson, last lap 37.2, closed in quite a chunk on the leaders. And he's actually now 15 seconds behind, so he is closing. Where did Josh start on the grid, Brenton?
Well, he actually missed the start. I think he was off trying to get himself the correct skin. I'm not sure that's come up or not. I don't think I've got it. But
it might be showing for me.
Yeah,
I think it's
still...
McLaren, isn't it? Yeah, it's McLaren showing for me.
Okay, it hasn't come through for me, but yeah, well, he started from pit lane. But Josh is very, very handy in these things, and not to be underestimated. And you know, he'll put in some good times. And if at the start of the race you can ask me who would I pick, well, he would have certainly been in my top 3 at the start.
Yeah, I mean, if he carries on at this rate, I mean, that was a 1:36.9, which just happens to be the fastest lap of the race so far. That gap, like I say, that's come down. That last lap was 3 seconds because those two were battling. So if they continue as they are, then yeah, they're going to be closed up by the end of this race for sure.
Yeah, and again to this chicane here, I don't know whether Aaron's making a real serious attempt to put his nose in there, but it's certainly making things uncomfortable for Burkett, but not sure it's making these guys go any quicker, that's for sure.
Another little battle starting to form up on track as well. Fuji Sartono closing in on the back of Alex Marshall. Marshall in his Marlboro McLaren, the Alan Prost. I'll get there eventually. Version of that. Newton in the centre one. Got his car repaired. Actually, I think what we've just missed is Marshall putting a move on Sartano there, because he's stretching away pretty rapidly.
Yeah, last lap of 140.4 for Marshall and 41.6 for Fuji in the old Damon Hill. Well, we could almost say it's the Ayrton Senna Williams, wasn't it? And on that tragic day in Imola. But yeah, it's a famous skin, that Rothman skin.
Yeah, still a day I can remember like it was yesterday. A terrible weekend, actually. We often comment about what happened to Senna, but just tragedy all weekend with Roland Ratzenberger, and what happened to you know, such a close call with Rubens Barrichello as well. So we were so lucky that day, so young. Could have been like one of the worst weekends in modern Formula One history. I mean, it pretty much is, to be fair.
Probably
anyway.
Still is, to be honest with you. But it's one of those ones, isn't it, where, you know, when Princess Diana died, you can remember exactly where you were when you found out the news, and same with when you were watching Senna have his tragedy. You're pretty confident you know where you were watching that as well.
Once again, Joe, well, actually, no, not once again. While we were off looking at this other little battle, it looks like Aaron Hamilton's got a move and got past Joe Burkett. So, yeah, apologies for missing that one, but I'm sure those two haven't finished having a little battle yet. But Hamilton looks like he's more intent on trying to stick the hammer down right now, because he's defending a little bit more down the straights, trying to break that slipstream as Burkett goes all over the curbs. Got a great line through that final chicane there and closes right back up as well. So definitely where he seems a lot stronger than Hamilton.
Yeah, 38-1 for our leader Hamilton there. Interested now to see how Josh Anderson goes with this lap at the end now.
Yeah, that gap
So
now
at 37-2.
Yep. So another 1 second closed up, 13.4 seconds as they cross the line. So that gap, like we said, is slowly creeping down. I mean, at a second a lap, he will be there with about 5 laps to go. We're, by the looks of it, we're going to have just the 1 pit stop.
Yeah, well, these guys are doing a good job stretching it out. So we're almost halfway through the race already. Lap 14 of 35, so a bit still 20 laps to go, I guess. But yeah, you can see them now getting there, can't you? The lap times, I'm surprised actually, considering that their fuel load has dropped, haven't really come down that much.
Got another little battle forming up as well. Scott Newton trying to make his way back through the order. He's closing in on Alex Pohl, going into the hairpin. Here we are, side by side, under braking. McLaren looks like it's got the job done straight through. You can see him here exiting. Great overtake there from Scott Newton.
Yeah, well, our pole man should be very confident with his speed. We know he's got the job done there quite easy. Alex Pohl, actually last in qualifying, there was a 4-second gap in qualifying between the two. So Scotty would be pretty comfortable with where he's at the moment in regards to this battle. However, he's already a lap down from his earlier dramas.
Of course, Alex Pohl going for the Clubman's Championship in the Sim Racers Asia GT Series later on this afternoon. Don't forget to tune in to that on Checkered Flag Interactive, as Newton gets all out of shape, actually, almost gives that position straight back. But yeah, I think both these drivers will be in that race as well. But yeah, Pohl definitely in with a shout. He missed last week's race that we were covering, Brenton, but yeah, he's going to be back for this one apparently.
Sorry, mate, just had some background here. Just 2 seconds if that's alright, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. We just switched back up to the lead battle. Hamilton definitely trying to stretch away, but as we've seen time and time again, this is where Joe Burkett seems to be slightly quicker through this second section of the track, and doesn't go through there quite as cleanly as he has done. Catches the curb, and Hamilton's up to 0.6 of a second away, but Burkett's just using that slipstream and closes in under braking quite heavily. Seems the sim wants to favour that camera angle through that section of the track, but yeah, 0.7 behind, so Hamilton with that straight line speed advantage might well stretch away, but actually I'm just looking at the time slowly tick down, so not quite sure where the figures were coming from earlier on, but actually Joe is slightly quicker.
Well, actually, they're both pitting. So, well, this asks the question: will they both make it on fuel? And you'd have to think, no, they won't.
No.
So they're going to have to pit twice for sure. Short fuel the second time, but still have to pit twice. But it'll be interesting to see what strategy they play here, whether they fill it up or whether they short fuel and try and do 2 shorter stints, which is probably not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, let's stay with these guys.
And whether they take tyres or not, because tyres are slow to put on these.
Yeah, I can't tell from up here looking down if they've been jacked up or not.
No, Hamilton's did not.
Gone. Actually,
and neither of them did.
Yeah. The tyres do hold on pretty well, but it looks like Hamilton's pit stop quite a bit quicker. Yeah, 11.1 seconds compared to, well, stationary. There's not a lot of difference, but it looks like maybe just Joe Burkett just a little bit more cautious getting into his box and getting out, and he's about 2.3 seconds back, so that's quite a lot of time that he's lost there.
Yeah, it is, and that might have and Josh Anderson out of the pit as well.
Marshall went to the pits as well.
See, I was thinking there, if that was me and if I was talking to Aaron right now, I would have just said put probably 10 laps worth of fuel in.
Stokes on Fuji, little Fuji just all over the place on the back straight, and he completely misses his
what's going on with the chicane?
And actually Stokes has to get completely out of it to avoid hitting him, and that battle's just going to continue. But yeah, great reactions from Stokes. That could have just been both of those two race over as he ploughs into him. Very Felipe Massa and damn, I forgot the Mexican driver.
Test for you. Mexican driver.
Yeah, Perez. It looked like for a moment. I thought those two were going to come clashing into each other into turn one there, but in the end they survive side by side through the first chicane. Stokes wants to get past. You can see he's quicker.
Very patient, very patient here. You don't want to hit the series admin, that's for sure, especially in race one. You do what you can to miss him.
I was about to say you'll definitely get a penalty, won't you?
You'll be in trouble.
Yeah, that Benetton definitely looks quite a bit quicker at the moment as well. Stokes was pretty quick, I remember, in one of the test races. I think it was Laguna, wasn't it? I'm not.
Yeah, I think you're
sure.
right.
Pretty
there.
quick there. So, but yeah, like you say, being very patient, just trying to size him up for a move. Fuji hits his lag switch as well, just to make it difficult. But goes in deep again.
Gone wide here.
Oh, he gets a good exit off of it though, and Stokes gonna have to do it at the chicane again. Keep it nice and straight, Fuji. None of this moving around, please, sir.
Well, these guys here have got a good result coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a decent enough series, and there's going to be more numbers coming later on. And again, like, Stokes must be ripping his hair out in the number 8 Benetton there, but these guys have got a good result, so hopefully they'll keep going with what they're doing.
Yeah, the difference in the previous lap from the leaders, 155.937 for Aaron Hamilton and a 158.0, so
that's all pit stop time.
Yeah, 2.1 seconds basically. That's how much time he lost in the box there. So, and we stationary. The teams did a great job. They're only 0.1 difference. So, just goes to show you've got to be aggressive coming into the pits and going out. Otherwise, you just lose so much time. But all that said and done, Josh Anderson has a 2-minute and 1 for his pit stop and 14.3 seconds stationary. So. All that time that he closed up, he got it under sort of 13 seconds, looked like he was going to close up, back up to 18.9 seconds.
Just wondering whether he took tyres though. Maybe it wouldn't have hurt to take tyres in this first stop. And
Stokes again into the hairpin, side by side, Fuji covering the inside. Is he overshooting it this time? No, he doesn't. Stokes tries to cut back, but doesn't happen this time, and he's got a dreadful run out the corner. I don't think he'll be able to get any kind of slipstream done into that. And we see Scott Newton closing in on these two as well. He just goes around the hairpin right now, so he's going to be up to these guys pretty quickly. Well, very quickly. He's lapping 5 seconds a lap faster at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty convincing, and Scotty's going to be there. But these guys are just got to keep putting their head down and doing the job. But Stokes just seems so much faster than Sartono at the moment. But Sartono is doing a good job. He's not so much blocking; he's just holding his line. Getting his entries right, getting his entries right. He's gone deep there, but
just the nature of the track's gonna save him, I think. There,
it's got him there
inside for the next corner. So
it's an unusual way of doing business. And there just leans a little bit, and Stokes is coming into the chicane here. 141.3. compared to Scotty Newton's 137.7 behind him, so within a few laps Newton will be right there with him.
Well, that last lap, Josh Anderson was
all over the place.
Second quicker than the guys out front, so I think you're right with the tyres, Brenton. Now, will that extra 1 second a lap do it? He was already 1 second a lap faster, so...
well, if he was already 1 second a lap faster, maybe he did not take tyres in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know with the tyres, they
side by side again into the hairpin. These two. Oh, that's a much better exit for Stokes, though. Surely this time here comes Newton, though. Look how much closer Newton is. Just this 1 lap extra.
Interested to see what Stokes' time will be if he can actually get himself clear here. But Sartono's got that thing like a bullet in a straight line, but under brakes and turning, he's very narrow approach here. And again holds the line, so he's got a bit of a rocket in a straight line, but I'm not sure it's too good to turn in. So a 1 minute 42 that time around for Stokes. He's gone the long way around here.
Oh, he might have it this time. Cuts back. Fuji
You
gives him
think
the
he's got
room.
the job done here?
He's gonna have the inside line. He learnt from what happened in that last lap, I think, and saw that and thought, right, I'm gonna do it around there. Fuji trying to dart back, but can't make it stick, and that move finally for Stokes pays off, and he's up and into 6th place. But look who's in the background lurking. It's an ominous sign when you've got that Marlboro McLaren closing up in on you.
Yeah, I'm on board with Scotty Newton at the moment, and these two guys in front are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Scotty's got to be careful though. He's already used both of his free toes, so he doesn't want to trip up anything here.
We jump on. Oh,
He's done an engine.
Is that another engine?
Yes, it is, and that will be. We're just talking about. He's got no free toes left. End of the race for Scotty Newton, I do believe. That's a terrible shame for him.
Just as we jump on board, he will not want us commentating on any race that he does ever again, I can tell you.
Yeah,
just
and it's funny.
Literally just went on board and kapow!
Yeah, but we're just talking about he's got no free toes left either. We know the dramas he had there, so yeah, that's a not good opening round for Scotty Newton. Got the pole position. We know he's got the pace. We know he's got the team backing, but just didn't get the job done tonight.
Anderson much slower that last lap, 138.5. Actually lost about 0.3 of a second. So any chance he had, I think, has gone with that pit stop. That extra time in the pits absolutely killed him. He would have closed in on these guys. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he did, if he took way too much fuel or what. Just yeah, perhaps he was a little bit late to the session, so perhaps just a little bit underprepared, I have to say, Brenton, and it's cost him, because I think he had a chance of a win here.
Yeah, maybe not underprepared. He's just done a lot of running here recently in the Star Mazda Australian Championship, which was just concluded last Thursday night, and Michael Shire was our winner of that series. Congratulations to him. But he's done enough laps here, Anderson, so I think he's just had dramas getting a few things sorted. Didn't get to put a qualified time in, and then after that,
he's all over the place. Just about manages to save the car. Oof. I thought that was curtains for him there. And Stokes pits. That's Stokes in front of him, so he's done his second stop, so he's out now, which is odd. He spent all that time behind Fuji, and then pits a lap later.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why he was so much quicker than Fuji, because he was running light. But gee, to pit on lap 19, lap 20, he must have had some issues early, thinking he must have pitted about lap 5 or 6. So yeah, he's a bit off canter with everyone else, and I reckon, will he make it? He probably will, actually. He'll probably be right on the limit of making it. 15 laps you can get out of these.
Having a quick look at Alex Marshall. Don't want to blow up the other McLaren out there, but he's closing in on Steve Bocade as well. Bocade had a shocker the last lap. I don't know if that was traffic or what, but we know Bocade. He's a very consistent driver. Won a few championships in the Sim Racers Asia GT series. Giving it a fair bit of wheel action out there right now. Just going through the chicane, but seems to always be there or thereabouts, does Bocade.
Yeah, recent success in the Corvettes, I think it was, in the Sim Racers Asia GT series, and I think this season he's running the Cadillac. Not quite as much success to bring him to the floor, but I think he's got an allergy to the GT3 classes, but he certainly doesn't have an allergy to the Star Mazdas, and yeah, he's got the Martini Williams up into 4th position at the moment. Yeah, quite a bit down, has to be said. What are we now? He is a long way behind. Yeah, 45 seconds off the lead, and in the pits now.
He's going to do his little splash of fuel now. It's not really a splash at this point, is it? I expect some of the leaders probably just going to put 5 laps of fuel in right at the end there, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Well,
we know if he fills it from here, we know he'll make it home. So it's it's not the worst time to pit, but whether he takes on tyres or not, or whether any of them take on tyres throughout the race, that's the interesting thing for me here. So just in his pit bay now.
And on his time.
I know you can get your fronts on for about the same time. Yeah, it doesn't take much more.
7.6
fronts on. Yeah, so yeah, I think he's only just put the fuel in there, but probably not a bad idea to get some fronts on the doesn't seem to affect the balance too much. Scotty Newton's back out there, so he mustn't have used both his toes, but he's over a lap behind now, down in 10th place.
I wonder actually if some of the drivers will be doing that, just fronts for one stint and then just rears for the second.
3 free toes, not 2, so no, he did have that one to go. And we've lost Mosata as well.
He needed it, but unfortunately it's not going to do him too much good. He's so far back. Well, I'll say that. He's actually only 6 seconds back from John Anthony there. So he might pick up an into 9th position, but still he'll score reasonable points because it will be a top 10, and as the season starts to pick up, drivers can make the race. Those points will be valuable, I'm sure.
Yeah, Aaron Hamilton's chosen the right time to put his foot down. As I said before, he shows fairly good racecraft, and he's got that gap out to 4 seconds now behind, with Joe Burkett behind. So, and Josh Addison, as quick as he is, he hasn't made any gains at all since he exited the pits. Still 18.7 seconds. So I'm just wondering whether Hamilton has chosen right now and to make the most of a situation here and try and get some bit of a gap.
Yeah, Burkett really needed Hamilton in sort of slipstream distance, I think. As soon as Hamilton's broke out of that, that's actually given him the confidence to push, because all of a sudden he's not worried so much about the driver making an immediate move if he makes a tiny little mistake. He's very confident out there now, just as he flies through the final chicane. Can make such a huge difference actually when you've got somebody just half a second behind you compared to say 1.5, 2 seconds. You really do sort of come alive, and you find that extra 2 or 3 tenths that you knew was in you, but the pressure behind just prevents you from pulling it out.
Yeah, and Matteo in 10th place in the Mercedes. He's just come out of the pits as well. He's had all sorts of problems tonight, unfortunately, but he's also a lap down, but he's come out in front of Joe Burkett. Burkett's last lap 38.3, Hamilton at 37.9, so really is a case of life imitating art here with Hamilton in the lead in a race. Wonder what his pit crew will do, whether they tell him to pit in if a safety car come out and let the rest of the field through.
Yeah, that has to have been one of the dumbest decisions I've ever witnessed. Actually, I'm just on board with Joe, and I can probably see the reasons now as to why he's losing a little bit of ground. He's got a tiny little bit of damage on the right-hand side of his front wing there, so must have grazed the wall somewhere and just bent up that wing just a tiny little bit, and that's just setting him back just maybe that 3 or 4 tenths of a second. So Aaron obviously pushing, has the confidence to push, but in return as well, Joe just struggling with a little bit of wing damage.
Yeah, his lap times aren't that much difference, but you're right, yeah, as he just goes past Matteo now, putting him another lap down. Yeah, just that little bit of damage. I don't think he's hit a wall or anything. I think that's probably just
Hamilton
riding the curbs too much. So I wonder if that's why Hamilton's pit stop was... Actually, no, it wasn't much short. The actual stationary time was exactly the same. So this will be interesting here for Hamilton. He would have thought this through. Like I said, he's a good strategist with the racecraft. So interesting to see what he does here. Whether he takes tyres or not, I don't think he is. It seems to be a long stationary stop here, considering the fuel he needs to take, and away he goes. So that
12.2 slower. That's a second slower than his last one. So.
Yeah, and I would have thought he'd be putting less fuel in there.
Yeah. Although when you think about it, he's only done 10 laps, so it should have been about the same, shouldn't it? So no need to rush, I guess, for him, though. They've got 4 seconds in the bag, so as he comes out behind, I think that's Stokes, is it?
Yeah, and Stokes is going to let him through there. It's good driving there by Stokes. Tough place to go past there, so... yeah, well, this is a time now where, if we've got to keep our eyes on Burkett here, because he's running a lot of fuel here, so he's got a chance to make that 4 seconds in these next few laps, in these next 5 laps, if he stays out that long, and if he does quicker times and gets a shorter pit time, well, he could be right back in this.
Yeah, it's you'll get obviously his wing repaired when he pits in as well. That'll be an instant repair with the fast toe, won't it? So is he coming in? No, he carries on one more time. So
No, I don't think we'll see him in for a while. I don't think we'll see him in until about lap 30.
yeah, I'm thinking
So-
that little splash and dash, the 5 laps of fuel or something like that. So if he can get that pit stop in like the sub 10 seconds, you know, because just a quick little amount of fuel, this is going to be very, very close at the end.
Yeah, well, it will be. And I'll tell you what, Josh Anderson's also making a bit of ground here. He's just 12.6 seconds off of the lead now with Joe Burkett. So Anderson's also making a move.
Yeah, not quite the second a lap. It's about 3/4 of a second a lap. So it's not going to be enough to close it down like it was earlier on. So all that time lost in and around the first pit stop still going to cost him dearly. But he'll be there if these two start to fight. That's the interesting thing, you know. One lap when they're in the 40s or something like that, and that opens it all back up for Josh to close in for the final couple of laps.
Yeah, so keeping an eye on Burkett's time in comparison with Hamilton's. I can see Burkett making some serious gains here with that lighter fuel load. We know Hamilton's pitted to the finish. I don't think he took on tyres, so yeah, it's an interesting stage of the race here.
Let's just stick with Josie if he jumps into the pits this time. Like I say, I think we're set to see him not till about lap 30. Might be wrong.
Yeah, no, and goes on again, and like we said, there's no reason for him to come in.
That was close to the wall though. Maybe so close I thought I heard a little bit of a skim there. So he's pushing, that's for sure. What was the lap time that way? 38.2.
38.2.
So definitely that front wing just slowing him down a bit because he was able to do 37s earlier on. So he's trying to get absolute max he can out of it without pitting too early. Wants that low amount of fuel to put into the car.
Yeah, but also the tyres have also shown a bit more wear as well. But a 37.4 for Anderson last time, so another gain.
11.9 seconds that gap is down to now. So, like we said the last lap, he's coming. It's going to take these two to battle for him to actually get there, though. No other real battles going on the track at the moment.
Well, I think the battle on the track is between Hamilton and Burke. Oh, did Aaron hit the wall there? I'm not sure. It's between Hamilton and Burke. It's not directly next to each other for sure, but 37.9 for Hamilton there. Yep. Burke at a 38.2, so certainly Aaron would be fairly happy if that continues on.
Yeah, absolutely. Stretching away at the moment. It's all going to be about the pit stop time for Burkett. That needs to be absolute flying. Needs to be on the money with his pit entry, really trying to struggle to get that car down beyond the speed limit as he comes past the commitment cones and get into that box as quickly as possible. Needs to put the front jack man under a little bit of pressure, almost take his legs away from him, but just stop short if he's going to get a jump on him or even get close.
So Burkett goes across the strike again at 38.8, so it's not looking good here for Burkett at all with those type of times.
No, I agree, and 37.4, so that's 1.4 seconds closed up for Josh. So that time is now 10.6 seconds. At that rate, he will catch him. 1.4 seconds per lap. So I don't know if anybody's watching. That's his teammate. But yeah, get in there and give him a gear up because he can close that gap up by the end of the race if he carries on at this pace.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Burkett's if it is the damage, you would think get yourself in, make that quick repair, fill it up to the finish because if it is that slight damage, whether it's
I wonder if he knows as well. I mean, it won't make any difference to the amount of fuel he's going to put in the car. He's still got that amount of fuel in there, hasn't he? So
yeah, true.
Still only going to be a splash and dash.
Well, if he hasn't hit a wall, he wouldn't even know there is that slight bit of damage. But then coming up to the end of lap 28, just on the casino straight now. He's going to be getting close to pitting now. Probably another 1, maybe 2 laps to go on this tank. And Anderson's now in a position where he actually can see him on the casino straight.
Yeah, we just see him in the background as he turns in. There's Anderson there in the. I would think of it more as the Mobile One McLaren, the more later one, but for whatever reason it's got SO on it. I don't remember it being an SO sponsorship, I have to say, but maybe it was.
No, the McLaren definitely for sure had SO sponsorship. Pretty confident it did, but years gone by.
And Josh stays out. So, and Josh does a 37.3, I'd say. So that would have been quite a hefty catch up there.
And Hamilton just across the strike now at 38.3, not the quickest lap time, but Burke still stationary in the pits.
This is a massive stop.
He's taking tyres.
16.
He's taking tyres.
16.1, 20 seconds. He's going to lose second place here.
I don't know why you would take tyres now, but you would have thought you'd hang on there, but he's made his choice.
Unfortunately, the camera angle's not switching over for some strange reason, but he's out. That is going to put him in third place in this race. I don't understand that at all. He's got a new front wing.
Yeah, new front wheel, new tyres. His lap times will be, you would think, considerably faster than everyone else's, but there's not going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on Hamilton. He's really driven
he's all over the place as well, is Joe, because these Star Mazda tyres, yeah, they take a little while. It's not so much the cold, is it? It's the pressure, isn't it? The cold pressures take a while to build up. You need 2 or 3 laps to get the pressures up right, so that the you can really lean on them a bit. Pressures are so low to start off with, and yeah, of course they work like any iRacing tyre at the moment. They work better when they're slightly colder, but but the pressures need to build up to a point where they can they're not rolling on the rim.
Well, it's an unusual decision. He did not take tyres on lap 15 when there's still 20 laps to go. Would have given his chance for his new tyres to, be a real big part for the rest of the race. But he does take tyres on lap 29 of 35 when his tyres are going to take 2-3 laps to get into it. So probably not the best tactical decision there by Burkett, I wouldn't think.
Well, I have to say, at this point, Josh is not going to be able to jump Aaron. He is lapping quicker than Aaron, between about a second and 0.7 of a second a lap, but he was already too far back, so we're looking at about a 30-second loss in pit stop, so he's probably going to end up about maybe 12-13 seconds back. So 6 laps to go. Maybe a different strategy from the word go for Josh might have played out, and that has been one to have saved fuel, like, really lot of lift and coasting. Maybe he could have done one less pit stop. We've seen some of the as he's just nicks the grass there in braking into the hairpin, manages to catch the car very quickly, but that could have been nasty.
Yeah, I think he's pushing pretty hard. I'm pretty confident he might be pitting this lap, maybe the next, but I'm trying to think, when did he pit before? Yeah, it was spot on lap 15, so you would think that he'll be making his move in the pits here now. Yeah, so into the pit entry now, so interesting to see where he comes out. Not so much compared to Hamilton. I'm very confident Hamilton will get the job done there, but compared to Burkett, who had that such a long pit stop.
Yeah, it's all about the race for second. Where's Hamilton? Here comes Hamilton through the chicane, but Josh is not even stationary yet, so that's a easy lead, and he's just got to hold it together for the final 5 laps, and victory will be his.
Yeah, and Joe Burkett's just about to come up to the final chicane now, entering that exiting past the World Champions.
He's got to wait.
Oh, I'd say Josh is going to get the job done here.
Oh, easy. Because he hasn't got to go through turn 1. He misses that and comes through turn 2. So.
Oh, it's significant, isn't it? Yeah. And a bad tactical mistake there by Burkett. We know his tyres must have been going off. A 38.8 was one of his laps, but I'd say sometimes you just got to grin and bear it.
I hate to say it, but I think he thought that maybe his tyres were shot because of the lap times he was doing, and actually it was all down to the front wing. And he's thought, I've got to take tyres. I'm going to get closed up. They're going to fall off the cliff or something like that, but I don't know, maybe he can shed some light after the race, or perhaps in the comments or something like that, but yeah, I think unfortunately it was the damage that was the problem, not the tyres.
Just have a bit of a drama here. Just overheard some radio chat that.
Oh, got a nice little battle on track. Sorry, Brenton, we'll come back to that in just a second. But yeah, Stokes and Fuji again.
Yeah, they're back together, and Fuji's only just come out of the pits again. So here we go again. I've got a feeling we've been here before. Both of them can make it home from here.
What was being said? Sorry, on the chat.
Yeah, on the relative, it's got Hamilton and Burkett as a lap down. They've lost a lap somewhere. I don't think that's what's happened. I think that, well, hoping that will clear this time around, and pretty sure it has, looking at that. Yeah, so just had them going a lap down, which is a bit of a worry for them. But yeah, back with Stokes and Sartono, these guys have been battling all race, haven't they? And yeah, they've both got a good result in front of them here, 6th and 7th.
Well, we know how Stokes managed to make it happen the last time. Went round the outside of 1 and had the line for 2. I think he's going to need to do something similar, or get a good run into the hairpin or chicane. So they've got a slightly faster car coming up behind them. That is Joe Burkett, I believe. Going to let the leaders go fairly quickly, I would think. Stokes won't want to lose too much time though. He moves over to the right there, or does he? No, he's just following the slipstream of Fuji. Looks very oh no, Joe can't get through this time. So yeah, Stokes more concerned about what's going on ahead of him, but I think this time he's going to let him go. Yeah, he's got no choice really.
I don't know whether Joe needs to get through, does he? So he's got to try and bring it home and get a podium position.
Now Stokes is wise, he'll stick right on his tail here. So when Fuji lets him go, he can just follow him through.
Well, Stokes has struggled to get past Sartono before, and that was when he was on a lighter tank, so hopefully, yeah, see if he can stick with the back of Burkett and get the job done.
That's where Stokes struggles. You can see clearly hasn't got the straight line speed. He's obviously got a lot of downforce on that Star Mazda, and Burkett just goes flying through. You have to think that's probably the difference between a baseline set and a tweaked one.
Yeah, it has to be. Especially on a track like Montreal, the straight line speed is so important.
8.5 seconds is the lead gap, so Josh has done a great job actually in closing in on Hamilton all race long. He has managed to bring that down. Had he not come from the back of the field, I think you're right. I think he would have been the favourite to win it, as Stokes is side by side with Fuji going into the second of the chicane. It's going to be late on the brakes. They're going to be side by side round the outside. He's going to make it stick. Oh, yes, he has. But Fuji's got a good run.
There.
Yeah, it's got to be opportunity to jump straight back on the inside. We've seen Fuji miss his braking point a couple of times down here.
This might not end well.
Doesn't this time. Stokes is going to have to get a cut back, gets a good drive out of the corner.
But
all about who's got the most straight line speed.
Well, we know Sartono has. He's had it all night, so I don't think anything's going to change right now. Well, this is going to be interesting into the last chicane. The Wall of Champions is going to come into play here. Oh,
yeah, Stokes actually decides that
it's very
probably not. Yeah, well, it's good driving actually. Could have pushed the case there around the outside, but you're right. It would have probably ended in disaster, and so better off from it. Just 2 laps remaining for our leader. 7.6 seconds. So still the gap's coming down. Josh closing him in, but yeah, great drive from him. But Hamilton's done everything that he needed to do. 2 good quality pit stops. A bit slower in the second one, but still very, very quick.
Yeah, I think Aaron's probably just slowed down to appreciate the position where he's in. There's no need to keep pushing where he is now, and I'm sure him and his time management skills are coming into play here.
You say that, he's still doing 37s.
Yeah, but it's a completely light tank now, and I think he'd be very comfortable where he's at.
Stokes again, just the point two as they get a lap on Alex Pole there. It's a bit of a shocker. I'm sure he'll want to forget this one.
Yeah, he will. But with this amount of cars in the race, it's there's potentially great results here for Alex. He's 11th place, we know, way down, but it's still 11th place, and as the season goes on, that might be a season high for him. We don't know.
Stokes just got his line all wrong there. Fuji was defending the line, and he didn't need to be. Stokes was too far back there. But yeah, just drove it in way too hard. Stokes there, full lock, trying to get that car around the hairpin. Just didn't happen. He got terrible runoff, and he's going to be hard pushed to get a move done on Fuji before the end of the race now. At the speed that he carries through the chicane though, because of the extra downforce that he's gone on. This is his best place, 1 and 2, I think, and that's pretty much that. I think. Oh, that was so close. I thought there was going to be contact, but.
Don't hit the series admin. Don't hit the series admin. That's the only thing you got to keep thinking there, Mr. Stokes.
You switch camera to Aaron Hamilton just for a second. He's about halfway through this lap. We'll come back to him when he's going through the final chicane as they're swapping lines at the moment still, Stokes and Sartano. Oh, got a great run. Surely this is going to be an opportunity. He's got the inside line. Needs to hope he's got enough drive just to get that. He's going to have to do it under braking. Fuji's going to have to take the outside line this time.
Surely the job's done here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great driving from both of them.
And good patience, but
I don't think this is over. Yeah, Hamilton.
No, I don't think it is either. Well, we'll just show Aaron very quickly. Congratulations to Aaron Hamilton, the Evolution Racing Australia driver, winner of round 1.
Behind him, Josh Anderson as well. Great performance to finish there. Joe Burkett just coming down the back straight right now. This
I'm thinking Stokes is away.
Yeah, Stokes is a long way away.
Oh no! What's happened there? No, he hasn't. Go back on board Stokes. I have absolutely no idea what has happened to Andrew Stokes there. But his day is done and he will not be able to finish. What has happened there? He's obviously got a technical problem. He's just driven straight into the wall.
Yeah, he got the drive out.
Screen freeze.
Oh, man.
Oh! So he's worked himself up to 7th, and is it going to cost him though? I don't think it will. No. Oh no, it'll cost him at 1 spot down to 8, and we'll get Scotty Newton through. It says Anderson also took tyres, so both 2nd and 3rd, Anderson and Burkett both took tyres, but just the 3 cars on the lead lap for our
race. We thought Anderson might have done with that 14 second stop, didn't we? We thought that might have just been tyres. But yeah, so Scott Newton comes across the line last of the finishers there, so finishes in 6th. So our pole man, definitely a race to forget, I'm sure.
Yeah, some happy and sad stories for the guys, but well, that's the end of the day. That's what racing's all about.
Just take a look at the final standings up on screen. Aaron Hamilton takes victory by 6.1 seconds, and the results fly through. I'll have to slow down that timer. Joe Burkett in 3rd place, Alex Marshall in 4th, Steve Bocade, Fuji Sartano, Scott Newton, Stokes with that screen freeze with about 300 yards to go.
Yeah, that was
and then we're down to our retirees, so yeah, unfortunate for those, but first round done dusted. Actually, Brenton, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I think get a few more races in there for round 2. I think we could have a fantastic series on our hands.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. I know you've got your F1 commitments to go to, so we won't be hanging around too long. But yeah, good start to the series. Hopefully the numbers will get stronger and it'll keep getting promoted.
And yep. Just thank you again, Brenton, everybody who took part. Also, big shout out to GrandPrix247.com, series sponsors. Head on over there for F1 news. I'll be getting a lot of updates right around now, I'm sure. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll call it a day here. We'll get some interviews in next week. Like I said, time's a bit pushed. Need to get ready for my World Championship race. But yeah, so apologies to Aaron who's just jumping in for an interview now. But yeah, we will we'll call it a day here, and we'll see everybody for round number 2.